of Genesis. Again, the deaths of Rachel and Isaac. Then God said to Jacob, comment as I go, New International Version, go up to Bethel and settle there and build an altar there to God who appeared to you when you were fleeing from your brother Esau. So Jacob said to his household and to all who were with him, get rid of all the foreign gods you have with you and purify yourselves and change your clothes and come, let us go to Bethel, where I will build an altar to God who answered me in the day of my distress. Remember, Rachel had took the gods of her fathers. She probably believed them. She enough to take them. The altar to God who answered me in the day of my distress and who has been with me wherever I have gone. And it's just new. We talked to Abraham, Isaac, just started talking to Jacob, not to the rest of his clan and everyone, or let alone the world. So they gave Jacob all the foreign gods they had and the rings in their ears. And Jacob buried them under the oak of Shechem. I don't know why the rings in their ears. Maybe they have pictures, a custom of gods, of their gods, whatever. Anyhow, verse 5, then they set out, and the terror of God fell upon the towns of around them, so that no one pursued them. Jacob and all the people with him came to Luz. Well, remember, his sons killed those people, that town. Jacob and all the people with him came to Luz, parentheses, that is Bethel, house of God. El is God, and pretty sure it's house of God, in the land of Canaan. Excuse me, itchy forehead. Verse 7, there he built an altar, and he called the place El Bethel, God, house of God. Pretty sure, anyhow, because El is God. Because it was there that God revealed himself to him when he was fleeing from his brother. 8, now Deborah, Rebekah's nurse, died and was buried. Deborah, Rebekah's nurse. Rebekah was the wife of Isaac. I don't remember it says here there's a Deborah who was Rebekah's nurse, died and was buried under the oak below Bethel. Well, that was the nurse they said that died. So it was named Alon Bakuth. After Jacob returned from Padan Aram, God appeared to him again and blessed him. God said to him, your name is Jacob, supplanter, grab the heel, a deceiver. But you shall no longer be called Jacob, your name will be Israel. So he named him Israel, overcomer with God, striver with God. It says here in F. F. Israel means he struggles with God, or remember he had the wrestling match and God's always struggled with Israel. Anyhow, intriguing. Verse 11, God said to Jacob, I am now Israel, God Almighty, be fruitful and increase in number. A nation and a community of nations will come from you. Eventually the whole earth, spiritual Israel, spiritual Jews, which even the physical co-sanguine blood must become Christians. New Testament. And kings will come from your body. We shall be kings and priests really in eternity. Right? The ones who turn to spirit, the Christians. And visit God in the New Jerusalem comes down. And the new heavens and new earth. Anyways, I'm digressing. 12. The land I gave to Abraham and Isaac, God's saying, continuing to Israel now, and to Isaac, his grandfather, and father. I also give to you, and I will give this land to your descendants after you. Then God went up from him at that place where he had talked with him. Jacob set up a stone pillar in the place where God had talked with him, and he poured out a drink offering on it. He also poured oil on it. Jacob called the place where God had talked with him Bethel. Then they moved on from Bethel. While they were still some distance from Ephrath, Rachel began to give birth and had difficulty. Here comes Benjamin now. Great difficulty. And as she was having great difficulty in childbirth, the midwife said to her, don't be afraid, for you have another son. She breathed her last. Actually, Rachel, this is I didn't remember this, but Rachel, she died giving birth. I remember my dad's mom died giving birth to him. I'll read that over again, 16. Then they moved on from Bethel. While they were still some distance from Ephrath, Rachel began to give birth. So she's given birth, so she died young and had great difficulty. And as she was having great difficulty in childbirth, the midwife said to her, don't be afraid, for you have another son. And as she breathed her last, for she was dying, she named her son Ben-Oni, but his father named him Benjamin. B is son of my trouble. And then Benjamin is son of my right hand. 19. So Rachel died and was buried on the way to Ephrath, that is Bethlehem. Over her tomb, Jacob set up a pillar. They needed to bury those places right away and put a stone wherever, because the body decomposes and it was hot in those areas, that area. And they didn't have modern, storage facilities, refrigeration. 20. Over her tomb, she was died and buried in that way at Ephraim, that is Bethlehem. Over her tomb, Jacob set up an altar, and to this day, the pillar marks Rachel's tomb. Again, I don't know why. God knows everyone that dies. Anyhow, I don't know why she died young. Anyhow, I don't know if she was. I know she wanted. She's the one who stole. Remember her father's gods. She said, "My time of the month has come," so he wouldn't check where it was under the camel or her seat of the camel. Anyhow, Israel moved on again and pitched his tent beyond. Now it's Israel, Jacob, Midgal, Eder. While Israel was living in the region, Reuben went in and slept with his father's concubine Bilhah, and Israel heard of it. Bilhah, I think, was the one of the handmaiden of Rachel. Jacob had 12 sons, the son of Leah, Reuben, the firstborn of Jacob, Simeon, Levi, Judah, Issachar, and Zebulun, the sons of Rachel, Joseph, Benjamin, the sons of Rachel's maidservants, there you go, Bilhah, Dan, and Naphtali, the sons of Leah's maidservant, Zilpah, Gad, and Asher. Now, Leah also had the one daughter, but 12 sons they went by. These were the sons of Jacob who were born to him in Padan Aram. 27. Jacob came home to his father Isaac in Mamre near Kiriath Arba, that is Hebron, where Abraham and Isaac had stayed. Isaac lived 180 years. Then he breathed his last and died and was gathered to his people, old and full of years, and his sons Esau and Jacob buried him. Now I'll go back to verse 22. While that's Jacob, now Israel was living in that region, Reuben, his oldest son from Leah, went in and slept out of sexual relations with his father's concubine, Bilhah, told you, the handmaiden servant of Rachel, and Israel heard of it. Maybe he saw opportunity now because Rachel wasn't around to kind of to Bilhah always be a hand and foot because it was her servant. Anyhow, that was wrong, of course. Well, it was also wrong for Jacob to have multiple wives. And on and on. A lot of wrong in this world, and this is part of it right from the beginning. Okay, that's the end of chapter 35. Thank you. Bye.